you could save your life one day. I had my first suspicious mole removed when I was 23. I had my fourth mole removed just last Thursday. All were considered precancerous. Had I not had the experience of working in dermatology, I would have never known what to look for and quite possibly not be standing here today. Recent survey by the Center for Disease Control stated that 74% of young adults and 50% of older adults said they had little to no knowledge of melanoma. That is why I found this topic important enough to share with you guys today. I will be informing you about the melanoma facts, prevention, and detection. First, the facts. Melanoma is currently the fastest growing cancer in the United States. In 1940, your odds of getting melanoma was 1 in 1,500. By 2010, it was less than 1 in 50. The American Cancer Society established at present about 120,000 new cases are diagnosed each year in the United States. Melanoma has become the most common cancer in men and women ages 20 to 29. Even teenagers are starting to get it. Although hereditary factors does play a role, UV radiation, ultraviolet radiation, is still the major cause of melanoma. Sun exposure is the most preventable risk factor. You can still have fun in the sun, just be smart about it. I'm going to show you ways to decrease your risk factors. Prevention is key. You want to seek shade. Know that the sun is the strongest between 10 and 2. Try to plan your day accordingly. Don't go outside and wash your car or go for the bike ride right at noon. Wait until after 2 o'clock. Do all your inside stuff around 10 to 2, and then do all your outside stuff after that time or before that time. You can wear protective clothing. They make sun protective clothing, shirts, long sleeve shirts. Also, you always want to wear your wide brim hats. Sunglasses, and of course your sunblock. If you guys ever notice the landscaping people, they are the best example. They know what they are doing. They all have their hats with the things that hang down in the back. They're all wearing long sleeve, long pants. They're outside in the sun all day and they know how to protect themselves. With the sunscreen, you want to apply 30 minutes before you're going outside. And the biggest mistake people make with sunscreen is they try to slather it on and then that's it. That's so not the way to do it. You just want to put a very thin layer, and the key is reapplication. You want to reapply every 2 hours. There's no such thing as waterproof. You want to avoid tanning beds. Studies indicate that tanning beds can increase your risk by 75%. This was kind of a shocking number. Also, examine your skin. Get to know your moles. Most melanomas are found by people recognizing that their moles look different. Doctors don't know what your moles look like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So if caught in the early stages, melanoma is entirely treatable and it has nearly 100% cure rate. The problem is most of the time they go undiscovered. And if they're undiscovered and untreated, they can spread and become life-threatening. Often there are no symptoms. That's why it's important to know your ABCs. So I'm going to show you now how to examine your own moles and get to know your own moles, because most people do find their own abnormal moles. This here's a picture of what a normal mole should look like. Over here is what they should not look like. So A stands for asymmetry. You want a normal mole, if you were to cut it in half, both sides are supposed to look almost identical. With an asymmetrical mole, if you cut that mole in the middle, the two sides are completely different. B is for border. You want the border to be nice and round and uniform. If it starts to get irregular and scalloped looking or poorly defined, that's a problem. With the color, see, this one's pretty much one color. Moles can be pink, brown, dark brown. They can be all sorts of different colors, just not all at once. The one on the end there is speckled with all sorts of different colors. That's one that you would want to show your dermatologist. And then diameter. You don't want it to be any bigger than a pencil eraser, 6 millimeters or 1/4 of an inch. And then finally, evolving. You want to make sure that it's not changing over time in size, shape, or color. This is very important. I was trying to find exact statistics for you guys, but I couldn't find it. I did talk to the dermatologists I worked for, and they all agree that most moles is either found accidentally or people knowing what to look for. How many 20 to 29-year-olds do you know that go for a yearly skin check with their dermatologist? It just doesn't happen. That's why it's so important to know your ABCs. So in the past few moments, we have discussed about melanomas. You've learned how to prevent them, how to detect them. Melanomas are dangerous and can be life-threatening. Knowledge is power, so have fun in the sun, but be smart about it and protect yourself. And if you can spot it, you can stop it. Know your ABCs.